We want some cookies.
And not just any cookie.
We want a very, very specific cookie. So we are flying today to get a cookie. We live in Florida, and we have sprinkles cookies. We even have the cookbook. We can make these like a master.
But we don't want these today.
We have Gideon's cookies in Orlando, which is a famous Disney World cookie. But the line is 800 billion miles long, and so we are not willing to wait in this line.
We don't want an Oreo today. I love Oreos. We're not looking for grocery store cookies either. You know, these Europe cookies are really good.
They're really good. What we are looking for is a very specific cookie that is our favorite cookie on the planet, and it is only available in, I believe now, 5 cities in the US. Leave it to us. We went to Google Flights, typed in one of these cities, and we found very affordable flights. So we are flying today to get a cookie. We will have fun doing some other stuff, but the trip was inspired by this cookie. So the things that we will do for a cookie.
And it's not even the closest place to get said cookie, but it is the cheapest.
It is the cheapest, which is why we are going to this location. So don't come at us in the comments saying that there's a closer location, because this one was by far cheaper. You know, we like to do crazy things. We crossed the border, as you guys saw, to get ice cream. Now we are going to fly to get a cookie. But it's the best cookie of all time. Hey, Super Dog.
Super Dog.
Super Dog.
Good morning.
We've made it to Chicago, Illinois.
And we're here to do one thing.
And that is to get our favorite cookie. But first, breakfast.
Yep. We thought about getting cookies for breakfast, but
we decided against it. This could be to our detriment, but I think it'll be good to get a little bit of nutrition in, and then we'll cookie it up all day.
Absolutely. We got in late last night. We did get some Chicago dogs late, which was super fun.
Yep.
And now we're gonna go get some croissants.
Croissant.
But we're in Lincoln Park, I think?
Yep, Lincoln Park, and it's very, very cute. I mean, this architecture is really incredible.
It's a beautiful sunny day, and I'm excited.
We lucked out, everybody. It's an 80-degree day here in Chicago, so you know, that's pretty good, I think, for April.
Come along with us.
Breakfast was...
It was delicious.
Phenomenal.
It was really good.
So,
and right up our valley, good vibes. I was a fan.
It was excellent. It was super cute in there. But now we're gonna do some fun Chicago, very Katie Andrew stuff, because little do you guys know, we have 2 super fandoms in our life. The
original homes of the creators of those things are here in Chicago, so we have to go find them.
Yep, so you guys are gonna come along. If you know us in real life, you'll definitely know one of these fandoms, but I think another one will surprise you guys. We are here at Walt Disney's birthplace in Chicago, Illinois. A lot of people think he's actually from Marceline, Missouri, which we've also been to, but little known fact, he was born at this house right here in Chicago. He's a Chicago boy. And if you know us in real life, we are really, really big Disney Walt history buffs. So this is like a mecca for us. We've been here once before, but now we're here with the camera.
Walt's father, Elias, hand-built this house in 1892, 1893, right in that range. And his mother, Flora, actually designed the architecture for the home, which is really cool. It only cost $800 to build. But they lived here for several years. They settled in with Herbert and Raymond, his older brothers, and then eventually Roy was born and Walt was born here, and the rest is history. Only for a few years, and then they moved to Marceline. But still, they were here.
We can't forget the girl power. Walt's little sister Ruth was born here too. It's crazy to think that this was built for $800. It's a smaller house for sure, but it's crazy to think that it was Walt's dad Elias, his mom Flora, and then they had 5 kids living in this small home, which is why they moved to Marceline, because they wanted that big space. They wanted to have their kids have a more outdoor childhood. They did end up returning to the city shortly after, but it's kind of cool to think that Walt Disney was born a city boy. He went to the country and then he stayed a city boy and went to LA. $10 says I know someone in these bricks.
Katie, where's our brick?
Our brick is at Disneyland. Fun fact, everybody, you could buy bricks outside of Disneyland back in the early 2000s, and my family and Andrew's family both bought them individually years before we met each other, and they're right near each other. So it was meant to be, Andrew. This Katie and Andrew fandom tour of Chicago. We are at Hugh Hefner's childhood home. Hugh Hefner was born in 1926 and he was raised in this house his entire life. And then he went to college over at the University of Illinois and started Playboy. The rest was history, but he grew up in this house. He was a very avid cartoonist during his high school and middle school years. And he used to make comic books in this actual house right here. Andrew, what is maybe our favorite TV show of all time?
The Girls Next Door.
Which was a show that aired on E! Back in the early 2000s about Hugh Hefner's girlfriends.
Yep.
And we are super fans. We actually went to a restaurant called Super Dog yesterday because Bridget from the show went there on a trip to Chicago, and now we are visiting Hugh Hefner's childhood home because they visited it on the show.
Yeah, you have it on DVD, you probably watched them 10 times the whole way through at least, and all the spin-off shows, everything.
Yeah, we are super fans, and we're really excited because we're gonna go see the Chicago Playboy Mansion next.
It'd be one of those places you wish you could go back in time and see at its heyday glory.
Mid-century gloriousness. They used to have like a hidden pool and a fireman's pool. Amazing. Too bad it is now condos.
We've been to the Playboy Mansion in LA. As close as you can get to it. We can't go inside.
We'll caveat that. We've been to the gates of the Playboy Mansion. But we have seen Holly Madison in person. We had a book signed by her.
Yep.
She was very nice.
She was very nice.
Another Disney Playboy fan, Holly Madison. Kindred spirits. We are kind of doing this Walt Hef tour, and something I wanted to mention is Hugh Hefner started as a cartoonist, and he was very, very inspired by his fellow Chicagan Walt Disney. And so at his schools, his elementary school and his high school, he was known for being a cartoonist, very similar to Walt when he was those ages. And that's kind of a cool connection between them. I feel like they were kind of kindred spirits in that cartooning way, and they both had a huge passion for the film industry.
Dame nor a lady, not in the way she walks, the way she talks, or the way she loves me. Just look at me, I'm like a monkey.
So we're at Steinmetz College Preparatory School, which was Hef's high school. And what's cool is he was student class president, founded the school newspaper, and he wrote cartoons regularly for it and for the school. There was a budget crisis, of course, with every school later in the 2000s, and in 2010, I think it was, he signed a 5-year commitment for $7,500 a year to keep the newspaper printing and in print, and then he renewed it again in 2016, or I think his foundation, I'm not sure when he passed away. But yeah, he was still involved and cared very much about the school because it got his start in print, which is really neat.
think it is time
It is officially time.
for our favorite cookies on the planet, Levain cookies.
They are so good. From the first time we ever had them, we look forward to it every single time going back.
And they're actually a really cool bakery. So they're only in 5 cities in the US. They're from New York City. They're also in Boston, Washington, DC, Chicago, and the newest one in LA, which we sadly moved right after they opened it.
We got to go a few times, but we didn't get to like live there with it fully.
And we had a craving. We just went online. We're like, hey, can we get there cheaply? And Chicago popped up for a great price. And so we said, why not? YOLO, right?
Yep. We haven't been to Chicago in a long time. So my sister and my brother-in-law used to live here. They lived here for a long time. And we visited a few times, but it's been 6 years probably since we've been out here.
And we loved visiting Chicago. So we're super excited to be back. And what better excuse than cookies to bring us back here?
The perfect reason.
So come along as we get our favorite cookies, maybe more than once today.
Cookies, 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 cookies.
I would look up a little bit of history on the company, and it's actually really cool. So it's a woman-owned business from New York City. They bake bread commercially for a lot of restaurants all around New York, and their cookie, which actually made them famous in their first, owned store, they are actually triathletes on the side, and they invented a massive chocolate chip walnut cookie to kind of give them fuel during triathlon. No one had ever really seen it before, and it's a gourmet cookie. Now they have about 5 flavors, but the chocolate chip walnut is what started it all. People saw this giant cookie named after leavened bread, which is a French term. Pretty cool story. That it was like a happy accident that this cookie came to be, and now I am here to enjoy it. I call this Katie and Andrew and Levain Bakery a love story.
This is the cookie trip.
This is the cookie trip. We did the ice cream trip 2 weeks ago.
And we did the cake trip like a year ago.
We will travel for sweets. Here it is. I love it.
So you got the
2-chip chocolate chip, and Andrew has the
triple chocolate chunk chip. I almost got oatmeal raisin, but I feel like I would have gotten booed. But maybe I'll get it later.
We still have time. They are open until 10 p.m.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh yeah.
Look at this.
This is so good.
So good. This is 10 out of 10. The best cookie I have ever had in my life.
Like half the size of my face. Was it worth it? Coming all the way out here for a cookie?
100%.
Would you do it again?
Yes. The best cookie ever.
We just left downtown, now we're in West Town.
And we are going to one of my favorite places in Chicago, which is called Abby Brown, and it's a homemade soap shop.
It's your favorite soap. I've gotten you for Christmas every year, basically for years.
We discovered this maybe, probably 9 years ago now.
From my sister, Sarah. Shout out, Sarah. Who showed us, it was her local place, and it was great.
Yeah, and we love it. They make some of the best homemade soap I've ever used, and I'm excited to get some more in person. Check out some new scents. Should be a fun time. Okay, well, they were so sweet. They even threw in a couple free samples for us, but I got 3 bars of soap. So I got this cranberry, which I've never had before, but it smells divine. It smells like Thanksgiving. So good. I got one of our classic favorites. So this is our honey oatmeal. We get this one quite often. Andrew's bought this for me more times than I can count for Christmas, and I love him for it every year. And then my favorite one I got actually is bark. So bark is this new flavor they have. And it doesn't really say what it is, but it smells really good. It almost has like a cinnamony smell, so I'm really excited. This is a really cool soap shop. So they make all of their soap in-house. They actually have soap making lessons, and they're always so sweet. I like supporting them, and I'm really glad I got to come back in person. So what a fun treat. Thanks, Andrew.
So funny story, we just looked this up. So I've been buying Katie's soap there, like I said, for years. However, officially, that is not the place that my sister took us 2 years ago. That place is over in Bucktown, and I just probably Googled one day what's soap in Chicago somewhere near there, and this popped up, and I was like, oh, that looks close enough, and we've been buying it for years. But regardless, they're still good soap. But it's really funny that's totally not the one.
True Katie and Andrew real life right here. This is very typical of us. But now we're gonna go get more soap, so I get double the soap today. Take two, we have found the official favorite soap store, Mojo Spa. So I'm excited to go into this one, and it's like a bonus, I get more soap. So this is a chocolate truffle, and it doesn't smell like normal chocolate scented. This smells legit like a chocolate.
What'd you find?
I found this new oatmeal cookie scent, which I'm very excited about. I'm a huge fan of oatmeal soap, so it smells so good. And this is the smoothest soap you guys will ever use.
What are you getting?
I'm getting 2 oatmeal cookie soaps. Like I said, I'm a huge oatmeal fan. I have to represent.
Was that the one?
That was the one. And I remember the guy who worked there. He's very talkative, but you know what? He's a nice guy, and he makes great soap. So I'm very excited. I am now the proud owner of 5 bars of soap from this trip. I'm gonna be very clean.
Some 45s. Been collecting dollar bin 45s to decorate my cubicle with because it's a gray box and I need something else. So I've been going and getting all sorts of fun novelty 45s. It's been great. So we just had some dinner.
Yep, at a place that was a block away from Andrew's sister's old apartment when she used to live in Chicago.
And we went there once years ago and wanted to go back, so it was a good dinner.
It's called Crosby Kitchen. It's great. They're known for their rotisserie chicken, kind of American style fare. And what's cool is that Andrew's mom's maiden name is Crosby. So it's kind of like a family homage. So we've always remembered it. So we wanted to come back, and it lived up to the hype.
Yeah, super fun.
Yeah, so just a good casual, nice dinner here in Chicago.
So now our goal is to just walk around and hang out for the rest of the night. And of course, get some sort of a dessert treat.
Yep, it's not a Cobra trip without a nightcap. You guys know this. Most people know about the Playboy Mansion in LA, but not a lot of people know that that's actually the second Playboy Mansion. It's called Playboy Mansion West. It all started here in Chicago at this almost Gothic style, you know, traditional house. And this was the original Playboy Mansion when Hugh Hefner first created almost a dorm for the bunnies who worked at the clubs and the different models. And it was a mid-century gem. It had a basement with a secret pool that they took a fireman's pole down into, and it was definitely a really fun mid-century-y gem before the Playboy Mansion of California that we all know today. So a really cool piece of history right here in Chicago. And now it's condos, which is very sad, but the structure still stands. Well, it wouldn't be the end of a Cobra vacation without a nightcap.
And so what do we want to do?
We came for cookies,
We're gonna end with cookies.
We're gonna do it again.
The key question, do we go to a different location?
Yes.
They have 2 of them.
Yes, we do.
Maybe it'll be different and better somehow.
I mean, the first one was really good.
Yeah, it'd be pretty hard to pass
But I
that.
have high hopes. So that was about an hour ordeal that we secured the cookies. We ended up going back down to the original location, but we have a beautiful view here on the river.
Yeah, this is incredible.
Yeah, we're sitting on the steps right on the river.
And we have warm cookies, and it's perfect weather still at night, so we are happy.
We are happy. Favorite cookie of all time.
What'd you get?
I got the double chocolate chip with milk and dark chocolate.
Oatmeal raisin. Come at me, commenters. I love oatmeal raisin. Cheers.
Cheers.
So good.
It wouldn't be a Cover trip without a nightcap. So remember to like and subscribe and watch us next time for what kind of crazy dessert travel we will do next. You never know.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, I just didn't want to.
How very fitting for our ski trip.
This is better than the one in Toronto.
Montreal.
Oh yeah, it was in Montreal, wasn't it?
Yep.
No, Boston.
Boston. Levain, Boston.
The record store that he had. And then he came around the corner to beat up the punk skater kids who stole the records, but always fun to drop by here.